Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Avneet Shokar, psychologist at ANR Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Jalandhar. Today, I will be talking about two under-talked topics, that is cyberbullying and gaslighting, and how it affects our mental health. What is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is also known as cyber harassment or online bullying. According to the National Crime Prevention Council, it is defined as the process of using internet, cell phones, or other devices to send or post text or images intended to harm or embarrass another person. Here we should know that it is a repetitive behavior and the intention is always to harm. So the harmful behavior can include posting rumors, threats, sexual remarks, victims' personal information, hate speech, or hacking into a person's account. So there are two forms of cyberbullying. First is internet trolling, which is a harmless act. It is a harmless mischief. It is when we troll around what is happening around the globe. Now, second is cyber stalking. It is more of a harmful act. Here we stalk the victim. As we are very prone to post all our details on Facebook, Instagram, where we are going, what we are doing, it becomes easy for the bully to stalk us and threat us. Methods used is social media, all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, texting messages, messengers, email, and nowadays it is very common on online gaming communities also because as audios and videos are available. What can be the potential characteristic or personality of a cyberbully? First, loneliness. According to the social and moral theory, it clarifies that when a person does not feel accepted in the environment and among the peer groups, that is when they indulge into cyberbullying in order to have a name in the environment they are in. Second is empathy. Empathy is a cognitive and affective aspect where if a person lacks empathy, they do not exactly know how would the other person feel who is being bullied. So that is one thing. Last but not the least, it is self-esteem. When a person does not have a good self-esteem, has a lower self-esteem with feelings associated of unworthy, incapability or incompetent, they may again go out for the act of cyberbullying. What are the ways of cyberbullying? Harassment is one of the most common method of online bullying. It indulges a person in warning wars through comment sections, and there is always a report system in Facebook, Instagram if anybody faces among so they can report it directly. They may include in text wars, posting rumors, threats, embarrassing information, using messengers, and nowadays WhatsApp groups are very common. Impersonation. Impersonation as of four types. First is you target the online profile of a victim. You gather all the information and use it against them. Second is you take their screen name, make a profile and use it to harass them and posting any embarrassing photos or comments or any rumors that you know about it. Third, pretend to be someone else. It is also known as catfishing or making a fake account. You get involved with the victim, you take out all their personal information or from their friends or family members and use them against. Last is steal the victim's password. That is the way of hacking, which is very common. Inappropriate photographs and video shaming. We often see that whenever a person if anything incident happens on the street, the first thing that people do is they take out their phones, record it, click photos and send it around. They're not there usually to help the victims. So that is one thing which actually harms the person and takes the humanity out of them. Threatening to share the embarrassing photos if they've taken in the locker room or in school, or hiding the cameras in the bedrooms or the houses. That is one way of blackmailing. Website creation. Internet poll is one of the most common thing that has come up nowadays, and people use it to identify if this is good or bad, do you like it or not, ugly or not. So now that again causes low esteem on the victim. It affects them psychologically as well as physically and emotionally. You may post the victim's personal information, send viruses through emails. Whenever they click, the virus is all around and you can actually take all the data from the computer or the laptops. Nowadays, during COVID times, telecommunication was very common, telecounseling and communication. And there was an article in Times of India where a patient registered with several ID numbers and different names, and they call up the doctors or the counselors in order to take counseling. But whenever they receive a call or they attend a call, the counselors or the doctors, they would see some obscene images or photographs or person sexually acting out. So that was one of the major concerns that is coming nowadays. What are the concerns related to cyberbullying? When we talk about concerns related to cyberbullying, it is persistent, it is 24 hours available, it is permanent. You cannot take out the information. Once it's there online, there is no way you can get rid of it. And third, it is hard to notice. You don't know exactly who the victim is and who is bullying them. Now, when we talk about the statistics of cyberbullying, Social Crime Supplement 2017 said 15% of the age from 12 to 18 were bullied. Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance said in 2019 and 15.7 teenagers, school students were bullied. CRY, the organization, conducted a study in Delhi where 9.2% reported that they were cyberbullied. 1 in 4 adolescents have seen their mocked images, and 1 in 10 teens are the victims of the same who report to the teachers. LGBTQ communities experience a lot of harassment, and girls are mostly likely to face the bully than the boys. Effects of cyberbullying. Now, what are the effects, the psychological effects of cyberbullying? First, they have a lower esteem. Increased societal ideations are there, and variety of negative emotional responses, including being scared, frustrated, angry, depressed. Emotionally, they may lose interest in the things that they loved. They don't feel confident enough. And physically, they may lose sleep, have headaches, stomach aches, and the feeling of being loved or harassed by the others may constantly haunt them. What are the interventions and preventions? INNOW Foundation is India's only profit organization that promotes ethics and digital wellness. What should a victim do? A victim should report immediately to a responsible adult or a counselor. They should try to ignore the cyberbully, block them. If they can talk to them calmly with the parents beside them, that is one. Enlist help for the school psychologist or a counselor. Contact an attorney and police, inform the police. Now, what can parents do? Please keep the computers in an easy viewable place so that you know that what your child is going through. Tell them about it, educate them about what is cyberbullying and what are the different ways about it, so that they can come up and talk to you about it. Don't be judgmental. Listen to what they want to say from every step, where it started and what all happened. See the signs if they are losing interest in the things that they love, or they don't use internet or laptops or phones anymore. Ask them that what actually went wrong. We as the psychologists, mainly the school counselors, can have a very important role in this. As the cyberbullying starts at that age, they can make a plan to implement a threat assessment, talk to the principal about it, have a guidelines related to it, and educate the faculty and staff, train them, make it sure that the environment that they are in, they have a regular checkups for the same. If an individual has been part of the cyberbullying, we as a psychologist can have a supportive therapy which helps in maintaining, restoring, or improving their self-esteem, ego functions, and adaptive skills so that they can come out of this trauma.